Oh, do we have 3 out of 4 now? Temperatures of red wax, you'll sculpt until he. Oh my god, what? Mord. It's you. Hold on. Getting everything fixed up again. Hi, how are you doing, by the way? I hope you're good. Okay, almost got everything. You guys have no idea what kind of like Tetris I have to play on my screen in order to get this stuff like working every time. I am actually playing Tetris on my screen, trying to get all of these. Hey Haz, hey Julie, how are you guys doing? Hold on, Tetris is almost done. Promise. Promise. I should have a starting soon screen, that's what I should do. Just 'cause, like, I always start off like this and it's kind of the worst thing ever. Obnoxious as I sit around being like, hey, trust me, I'm reorganizing things. Woo! There we go. Okay. 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 Good. I think we're good. Hi Anderson, how are you doing? Hold on, I gotta make sure Facebook is working on this as well. Test. And the only way that it like tests that with Restream too is if I go live, so. Whoopee, whoopee, whoopee. Alright, we should be good. Hey Ember, hey Count, hi Artillery. Yes, this is the last stream. Hi Ariel, and hey me saying test on Facebook, glad that works. I sculpted that in 10 seconds. I passed it to Tab Mike. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. I would if I was able to sculpt that fast, I would never stream, and I would hide that from literally every client that I ever told, because who would ever, I don't know, man. Sculpting something like this in 10 seconds, no. Hi AK, hi Fernando, hey Grim, hi Emra, and yes, okay. All right, so, just like, you know, to start off, I put this on the screen. This is from last stream, and this is essentially like what I do on this channel is I take like a sphere that started from a sphere and I turn it into some kind of a concept. I just kind of like go with the flow. It's sort of like sculpting, like sketching in ZBrush, and essentially it's like sketch sculpting. So it is very organic and things are messy and stuff like that. It's not referenced, but that's sort of like the fun of it, is just kind of getting your hands dirty and doing stuff. Yeah, if you hear barking, that's my dog. He's having an anxiety problem right now. Bless his little furry face, but please just, you know, try to ignore it, because he's probably going to bark quite a bit tonight. He's having a hard time. Yeah, if you have any questions, just ask as I'm doing stuff. It's probably going to be a pretty chill stream tonight, just because I'm a little bit more mellow. And yeah, okay. Alright, it's gonna be that. Bongo Cat sculpt? No, you sculpted Bongo Cat. Hey Sid, how are you doing? Hi Anderson. Brazil. Well, hello, I'm in Montreal. You're in Ecuador? Oh, hi Pablo. Sculpt Monty. Oh my gosh, no. Hey Ketten. Okay, we're gonna do this. So this was last stream. Yeah, essentially, we just kind of turned nothing into something of some kind. And now we have another sphere, and we're just gonna have fun. So if you're interested, if you're interested in sculpting along, you can actually download a 45-day free trial of ZBrush from their website, or if you're on Twitch, you can scroll down into the info panels and check out like what's going on down there, and there's like a little free trial banner, so you can click on that as well. The ZBrush menus, they're not actually complicated. It's just the way that they're laid out. It makes sense when you start using the program and you've used it for a while, but initially it is a little bit of a different way of thinking. I wouldn't say they're complicated though. And also once you start to understand like where everything is, you do have like a very, very, open range to customization for your UI. So if you don't like how things are, you can push them around wherever you want. Like literally almost everything is customizable. Hey, Sculpt, how you doing? Hey Martin, how are you? I'm doing good. Coffee is fire. Oh no, I have tea. If I do coffee, I probably won't sleep, which, I mean, I might end up doing later anyways. Alright, okay, so let's start. And so when I start these things, again, like, I don't have really much in mind. I'm just kind of like throwing things around and seeing how it will, I guess, evolve as I sculpt on it. Like, it's a very low commitment sort of a way of sculpting. And you'll also notice that I like to keep the, what's it called? Artifacts from stretching polygons in there. Sometimes I do enable the Sculptress Pro for things like this. Like, oh, hey, I think maybe it'll be like a neck or something, but then immediately after that I will disable it and just start sculpting on top of it anyways. Few tips for going back and forth through Sculptress though, I would say, is like map it to something that is pretty easy to access as you're sculpting. So for me, I have it on my A key because, you know, I'm like going in and out of symmetry sometimes, so I press X a lot, and it's like right in the, it's in like that hand area, you know, like you're on your Control Alt and Shift all the time when you're working in ZBrush. So I mean, like A is right there, and I go in and out of it frequently, so it just kind of like makes sense to me. So it's like really easy to throw on and off. Yeah. Hey, Rain. Oh my god, for a second I was just like, raw 1N. And I was like, oh yeah, chat speak was a thing. How are you doing? How did I like the summit? Yeah, I enjoyed it. I wasn't able to watch all of it. I still have to like skim through some of the VODs that were uploaded. By the way, if you didn't catch all of the summit like me or any of it, Pixelogic actually has everything uploaded onto their YouTube channel. But I mean, if you're on Twitch, you could probably go into the videos and find them there as well. Post summit low after the high. So much talent on display and you're full of inadequacy in Subway. Oh, Mav. Just, you know, take it as a good thing. Take it as a good thing, because that means that your perception is growing, and if your perception of your skill is growing, that means that your skill will follow suit if you keep practicing. That's just the way it goes. That's how it goes. Oh my god, yeah, what was up with like literally everybody asking in every single It was literally every single presentation. There was somebody asking like, so, how big were your files? Why is that? Why is everybody so interested in that? I'm so curious as to why everybody's so interested in that. Is it a really big problem for a lot of people? Like, I've never really had a problem with file size personally, but I usually don't save project files. I save ZTLs. I'm just wondering, like, do people actually have, like, a problem with, like, huge files with ZBrush? I feel like Substance is way crazier when it comes to file sizes. I've had way bigger Maya files, for sure. Like, I don't know, man. Very, very confused on that one. Just wondering if that's, like, an actual, like, issue. project files get large. Yeah, that's like, I know they do, and that's why I'm just wondering if they if the people asking these questions like know that there's an like alternative. Like you could save as up here, like in your tool menu, you could save as ZTL, and then you won't have like your undo history or anything. But I don't think that that's like super important for every single case. And if it is, I mean, you could always separate the specific subtool, I guess, and save that out as a project file if it needed to have undo history. Save the Z tools, yes. Yeah, no, but that's the thing, like, I don't know. Unless, like, you're, I don't know, saving history. Like, if you're saving iterations of your work as ZTLs, like, I don't know. Different ways of working, I guess. But yeah, on that topic, you can save ZTLs, which will not save your, history, which is up here. So if we go backwards in history, like, you won't be able to do this, basically. You won't be able to go back and forth, sort of a thing, if you save as a ZTL. But that shouldn't be an issue if you're saving in iterations anyways. So if you wanted to, like, go back and edit something in a different iteration of your concept or your sculpt or model or whatever you're doing, then you have different iterations of it. Hey Frank, how are you doing? Transferring files between people? Yes, here at school it's a big deal. You're only allowed to submit certain sizes. Oof. I guess the school thing would be a topic for. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I feel like schools need to be a little bit more aware. I guess, like, just like teaching their students that things like that don't necessarily matter, like when you have like so much space. Basically, like, if you're working on a movie, you're gonna have like so much space to save files that it's not, I don't know. My experience anyways. I don't really know what we're doing right now, by the way. I'm just gonna do something of some kind. And if we have any questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, I do understand, like, you know, schools, you have certain servers, like, you know, like file submitting servers and things like that, and it all has to be a certain size. Or you have that one kid that, like, decides to submit a project that is unnecessarily 800 gigs big, and it takes up the entire school's, like bank, basically. Yeah, I've had that happen before. Had a, something be late because somebody took up all the space on the server when submitting something. I can understand that. I can understand where that comes from, for sure. Oh man, and then I also, when I was in school, like, for our final film, we also were able to render on the school's, like the render pool, basically. We would all be in, like, a pool, and it would prioritize based on, like, first come, first serve. And this one person submitted the same job, like, an infinite number of times, and it wouldn't cancel, and it was, like, on the last day, and I was just having an aneurysm. I just had an aneurysm right then and there. It was, I don't want to go back to school. Like, bad juju. How can you clean history? Do you mean how to get rid of the history? I think in preferences, there is something like right here in undo history, you can basically, like, turn, like, the maximum number down. I'm not 100% sure how to get rid of the history other than like restarting it, but I know that in the undo history menu, you can actually like turn down from like 10,000 to like, oh, maybe you only want like, you know, 151 steps of undo, but you have like 10,000 here, right? So that's there for you if you want to play with it. Doing well? That's awesome. That was good to hear. Fantastic to hear. Okay, let's do that with... Turn off sculptures. So I like to actually keep Sculptress off for some of what I'm doing initially, because then I get a bunch of like artifacts from stretching geo, and I thrive off of stretching geo. The optimum value of memory RAM to work with ZBrush? Well, I can tell you that I'm working on, I think the minimum is like 8 gigs. I think that's what they have listed. You can definitely do stuff with 8 gigs. Right now I'm working on 16 gigs on my current setup, but I want 32 gigs. Like that would be really great. I'm gonna build a new PC and like jack the RAM, because then I won't have to wait as long basically when it's thinking. But 16 gigs works just fine. A school that bottlenecks you like that, and you're gonna go on a limb and say that's not a good school. I mean, okay, so to be fair, when I went to school, I was doing 3D stuff in like while I was in a 2D program, so it wasn't like, I don't know, so there was like a bunch of other kids that were in like the VFX class that, like, I don't know, the thing after bachelor's or whatever, like a master's of VFX. I think that was like, there was like a graduate class of VFX stuff at that school, and during that time they always obviously got priority over the pools, but there was like, I think 3 or 4 other people in my class that were like, nah, screw 2D, like I'm gonna do 3D, and I was one of those people, and it was the last day and I was trying to render out a few more frames, and this other guy had decided, hey, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just like submit my project an infinite number of times to the pool and screw over both the VFX students and everybody else in this class. Yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. Oh man. And then he went home. He put it in the render pool, went home, and was sleeping when everybody at the school was like freaking out at like midnight. We were all what the hell? We can't get rid of this. And so like I think one of the supervisors or whatever for like the technology supervisors or whatever had to like leave his house, come to the school, and like manually close an infinite number of jobs, and I was like, so yeah, bad. Hey Alonso, how you doing? It's Genji! Oh shoot, it's Genji! Sketch reference image for model? No, not during these streams. These are just for funsies. Change the stream title to stretching polys with Ashley. Actually, not a bad idea. Doing everything opposite of what you're supposed to do. Right now, I'm not in Dynamesh. I'm actually still in disgusting mode. We're gonna be going into Dynamesh though, don't you worry. Double neck, you can headbutt like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, one of them is like strictly dedicated to like pushing you forward, and the other neck is strictly dedicated to pulling back. So it's just like mega muscle neck. Good stuff. How long I live stream, but you need to learn how to optimize so you can lay out UVs in Maya and bake it in ZSphere or retopologize. I am live streaming until, well, basically 3.5 more hours, so midnight for me. I don't know what that is for everybody else. I don't really know where to start. Like, that's like basically explaining the entire... When you say optimize, like, what do you mean? Like, how do you take like a sculpt from ZBrush and bring it into Maya to retopologize? If you're talking about that, I would say use, there's a plugin up here called Decimation Master, right here. So you're gonna want to decimate your stuff so you're not sending like, you know, 5 million poly subtools over to Maya, right? Like, because that's gonna crash. Like, you're gonna have a really hard time with that. So if you decimate your stuff, then it's gonna be easier to retopologize on top of. I like this. I like stretching. Stretching is good. Stretching is great. Me for president. The world would burn. I have Disney versus anime clicks. Like other school. Oh my god, dude, are we getting into this conversation again? Because yeah, like there was the Disney files, and then there was like the people who were told they're not allowed to draw anime, but then they're like, no, I'm gonna draw anime anyways. And yeah, it was just I didn't fall into either category. I was just like, I don't belong anywhere, I should leave. What do I think of the peel UV? I think that's pretty cool, especially like I think the peel UV thing will be really useful for like especially like concept sculptors, or just like people doing like relatively simple things in ZBrush that they want to like send straight over to like Substance or whatever, because then that means that you can literally sculpt, retop, and UV efficiently in ZBrush, and then you can just kind of skip the other stuff and send it right over to Substance or whatever if you wanted to start doing your thing. But I would say for bigger projects, I don't know, I don't know enough about like all of the functionalities of Peel UV, but I'm sure in the future, like after the first release, like it'll probably just keep getting like crazier and crazier. But it's just like, it's just another thing where you're like, oh, I guess I don't have to leave ZBrush. Oh, I guess I don't have to leave ZBrush like all the time, which is great. Like I like it. I like the fact that you can just like stay in one program for a long period of time. Like I hate playing Tetris with my taskbar, so. All right, let's do something here. I don't know what's going on with this guy. We'll figure this out. By the way, I hope my voice is okay today. I'm sitting a little further away from the mic than I usually am. If it's not okay, please let me know. But I'm hoping it's fine. $7,777. ZBrush, do you hear online baking? Stream movies right onto your stream movies right. Yes, Mav. Yeah, same has. Make monsters. No, when I was in school, like, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I make monsters, but I was also like, I make ugly things. Like, I'm just like bad. Like, I didn't even know. I was a confused child. I'm still a confused child. What am I? Did I sing? Did I sing? No. Definitely not. We don't want to hear me singing. We don't want that. The stream is seriously lacking broom brooms. I'm sorry about that. I can't open the window because 1, it's cold outside, and 2, it will start making outside noises and my dog will start getting severe anxiety problems. So I just, you know, we good without it. We good, you know, we fine. We're good. Grows up to make Barbie and Q characters for robot movies. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I like doing what I'm doing. I don't know what it is though. Asking about my voice? My voice? No, I never sing. No, we don't want to hear me sing. If that's, I don't know. Whatever. What are we good? 31, I'm sorry, I don't speak that. I am English and a pleb. And we can do sorry, oh, you guys are speaking in 100 different languages right now, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I can't help you. It's alien hieroglyphics to me. I'm sorry. I suck. I don't speak 100 languages. Very low and polished shaders just to keep the phrases too. Oh, you're talking to Warsaw. Okay. Alright, so there we go. That one's Dynamesh. I'll Dynamesh this guy as well. Now we got 2 things. Now we're working in Dynamesh. Woo woo woo. Whatever they're doing. It's a very good question, you guys. It's a very good question. too small. There we go. Bump. What? The camera they demoed? I didn't. Okay, so that's the one thing I need to rewatch because, like, I didn't actually. I think I came in as soon as. I came in as soon as that wasn't being shown, and it was the next thing, and I was like, darn it, I missed it. Somebody in chat told me about it, but I gotta go and see what's going on with that. But if it is like an actual, like, true camera that isn't faked perspective like they have in ZBrush currently, then that is going to be extremely, extremely helpful for matching things like, you know, concepts, or even just like matching photos and things like that, just in terms of like matching and actually like understanding what your model is going to look like when you like take it outside of ZBrush. Yeah, I would say like that is like really, really important, and it's going to be a good, really good thing to have in ZBrush. God, spider. Now that you said that, I'm not going to do spider. No, I'm kidding. Ant Queen. We'll see. Queen. Oh, weird. I don't think... Okay, yeah. Hi, Marco. How are you doing? And Johnny. I'm just making sure that I can see all the Facebook stuff. Oh. I think that they should be showing up, right? I think they're showing up. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can see it. Summit showed off the camera stuff. It was, shoot. I'm sure somebody can link you before I do. I'll try and find it, but I'm sure somebody can link you faster than me. I'm like a slowpoke. Yeah. Yeah, Paul Gabery and Joseph Just were talking about it. My nose is so itchy. Let me see. Is it in? I think it's in like the day 2 uncut near the end. So day 2 uncut near the end, you'll probably be able to find it. The standing ovation the folders got? I know. It's so funny. This is like a necessary update for ZBrush. The folders will be very, very useful. I am excited about the folders. I was actually laughing pretty hard too, because like there's so many things that they've added to ZBrush through the years, and it's like the one thing that's like actually relatively like straightforward, which is like folders, that everybody just like goes absolutely like ape, like just nuts over. It's pretty funny. Hi, Empathy, how are you doing? Oh, there you go. Thanks for linking that, Ite. So if you're on Facebook, you can grab that from his link. Yeah. Unfortunately, like, I wish I could, like, link something and it would go into every single chat, but if I were to link something on Restream, it just, like, all you can do is, like, see it. Like, you can't click on it because it's on the screen, obviously. The pizza boxes? Yes, the pizza boxes. Random sculptor, is it based on a concept? This is just a random sculpt. The 4 hours that I'm on here for every week, I'm just doing like random concept sculpts. It's not from concept or anything like that. It's literally just concepting in itself. Like I'm both concepting and just like sketching, having fun. It's not anything serious. It's you know, I like to put an emphasis though on like shapes and just like really pushing the shapes a lot and just doing things that, you know, may or may not work as a final model, but in general, just it's more gestural stuff anyways. So even this, like, it's an artifact right here. Like, it's not something that I meant to happen, but it is going to end up working really nicely with the rest of this, because you can just kind of like exaggerate things that that happen when your geo stretches, and it kind of feels nice. Kind of works. And that's sort of like why I like to leave the artifacts. So they really like work for me and the way that I like to come up with things. And like if I see a shape that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, I like, you just saw right there, like I like to just kind of grab it with a mask and then continue it. Just kind of like push it and see like if it can turn into anything. So I like in general, like I'm looking for some sort of fluidity to the silhouette, where things lead up to the face area. So the lines in general, like everything, like I like to have it like pushing upwards. So everything kind of, if you can kind of see this, this is sort of like, it's kind of an instinctual thing to me now, and to refine these sorts of things, like character composition, for example, it's usually something that I have to do, like, you know, if I want to refine it, obviously, then I have to like step back and look at this and then do draw reviews and things like that. But what I want to demonstrate is just sort of like, here, I took a quick screenie of this. So when we're talking about character composition, what I'm talking about is sort of like how all of these lines kind of like, it kind of does a thing like this, and it's going up, right? And so everything kind of like leads up and then down. And so then this is sort of like your middle ground. And so with all of this pushing upwards, you're still kind of like overall, you're getting this sort of like diamond composition that's going on here. And that's like essentially like what is going on subconsciously while I'm doing this sort of a thing. But obviously if I want to like push it further, then you always have to like stand back and refine it based on actually like looking at it from that perspective. But as a subconscious thing, the more that you're like pushing shapes and you're strong shapes and form, the more you're gonna get something like this. Initially, like, you know, keeping in mind that a character itself can and should have a composition to it, not just like, you know, if you're putting something you know, into a scene, obviously you're going to have composition, right? Like, so if you go to art school, or if you're even looking anywhere online, they're all, you know, people are always talking about like composition, how important that is to your scene. But what people don't talk about a lot of the time is how important it is in terms of like just individual characters. So if you're a character artist, you always have to be thinking about the character's composition as well. And that reflects a lot in the silhouette. And so if your overall forms have a very strong shape, and it's not something that's like, you know, like if you know, we're talking about a shape like this, right? Like that is a shape. But then what if, you know, you might do something and you think it's really cool, but it has like a shape like that, and it's, you know, like overall, like you could probably make that work, but it's a little bit like standing back. And so when you have like a really strong composition, this is not like, you know, set in stone, because again, composition is very like, there are so many different ways to approach it. But once you have like a strong overall, like, I guess, feeling of the shape of your character, you can always go in with your secondary forms, which is what's happening here, right? And like cutaways are happening. And then you get in a sense, a better, how do I say this? It's just, it helps the composition. Anyways, I'm not gonna go too far into that because I could probably like mess up and not explain things properly, but in general, what you're looking for are the main big shapes, and then from that, you can build off of it. It's your foundation, and you'll have like a really, really strong sculpt, a really strong drawing, a really strong character if you can build off of a foundation that has strong, deliberate shapes, basically. A bat creature? Yeah. Hey, Vega, how are you? Art theory. Yeah, art theory is, the thing is, like, the fundamentals of art is very important, but there are certain aspects of it, like composition, for example. There's obvious, like, things that work, like the rule of thirds, for example. But, you know, how you go about making those work, you just have to practice a lot, basically. So it's one thing for me to be saying these things, but it's another thing to practice them. I like to think that, like, technicalities can be learned, whereas art needs to be practiced, if that makes sense. Like, if you were to learn a program, like, that's a technicality, whereas if you're learning art, you have to practice it. Like, you need to just keep doing it in order to have like an intuition about it. You took him out and you went running, got Shrek to tumble down a muddy hill. Oh shoot. Did he pull you? Pent up spaz dog. Oh no! Did Monty pull you down the hill? That's oh boy. Yeah, our dog has a spaz, like, cause his energy comes a lot from like his anxiety that he has. Or is it the other way? I don't know, man. Like, but it's... yeah, I don't know. Good job, though. That's your shape. Your shape isn't a pear. Your shape isn't an hourglass. Your shape is a rhombus. So much for calm. No, I don't think he's gonna be calm until his anxiety fit is done. He, exercise doesn't stop all of his anxiety. I already took him for, like, a long walk today. It doesn't matter. Not the rhombus, the other one, diamond. You're a diamond. Where does the dog start and the anxiety end? That is the age-old question, isn't it? Oh, he's so high-strung, man. Dog is so high-strung. He's got, like, quite the personality. I don't think I've ever had a dog quite as much as he is. He is, it's like having 7 dogs in one. He's a lot. Alright. Yeah, if I bring him on stream, he's probably gonna be, like, super chilled out. Like, that's usually, like, how it is. He's, like, chill by, well, in an hour from now, he's usually pretty chill. But until then, he is the ultimate spaz. Corgis, yeah, he's so high-strung, dude. I don't know, man. Like, normal exercise works for dogs, okay? Like, taking them for walks, letting them go to the dog park, all that works for most dogs. It doesn't work for him. He still gets like, oh no, somebody's gonna like come into the house and kill me. Like, over sounds we can't even hear, so.
So mad, so grouchy, so grumpy.
Ashley Sculpt? Oh no, I don't have any of them online. I don't have any of this stuff online. Alright, let's do something with this. Hoard them or give them away? I just hoard them in a folder of never to be touched ever again. You want to see that folder? I'll show you that folder. Yeah, I'll show you my ZBrushLIVE folder. Let me see. Here's my ZBrushLIVE folder, you guys. Here we go. Here it is. Look at that. Look at that. Bam. Hey Dominic, how are you? Greetings from Toronto. Oh, did you hear it's supposed to be 34 degrees Celsius in Toronto this weekend? Have fun! He knows he's everyone's favorite streamer on the Pixelogic channel. Oh yeah, that's true. He's barking because he's like, you should let me on. You should let me see everybody. The dog lord Monty Mort. Oh my gosh, that's funny. But he's like, his name is because of Monty Python though. 61 bird skulls. Pose and render all the live stream monsters together in a big battle. Oh my god. Dude, but can you imagine how long it would take me to, well, that's 61 plus, yeah, that's like like absurd amount of sculpts to go through and render. Bring out your dead. Okay guys, like choose like one of these and I'll open it and we like at random and we'll like figure out. Oh god, why are you, okay, somebody wants to come in. You see him in the background, you can see him. You can see him there. Freaking Monty, get your butt over here. There he is. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Oh no. No, you want to go back out. You want to go back out and start barking at it. Nothing.
Come here, baby. Whoa, baby. Oh, okay.
There he is. Sculpt 45, Sculpt 47. Alright, we'll pick something 40 something. Let's see. Quickly. I'm going to save this one. We're gonna save this one. Bring his Bene? His Bene bone? I don't think there is a Bene bone in here. I don't think we have a Bene bone. Do dogs only come in if they're invited? Because if I keep the door open, then you can hear everything that he's doing out there. Shoot. I was gonna, yeah, that's right. New folder. Still 62. Oop. Alright. Saving that. Alright, and then we want to open up. You said, like, Alright, we'll pick the middle ground, 46, because somebody said 45 and then somebody said 40 whatever. Let's see, what's this one? Ooh! Ooh! Where is it? Frame. There we go. That was one episode. No, Monty will not change the mat cap. Go away. Wow, wow, wow. You wanna pant into the mic? Here, pant for the people. As soon as I hold you up, no panting. Good pants. Good pants. Who's using the mouse? No, I'm not using the mouse. I'm using a Wacom Intuos Pro Medium. Wow! Wow! You want to go out there and start being reactive again? Is that what you want to do? You want to go and bark at nothing? You want to go and bark at nothing? That's what you want to do? You want to go and bark at nothing? You want to bark at nothing? Alright, I'm gonna let him out of here. Come on. See? No, he doesn't have his money. I don't know where it is. Okay. Oh, there he is. Barking at nothing. Trying to alert me to interdimensional invaders and I just say he's barking at nothing. Oh no! Alright. There you go. That was a random thing to open. Oh, I should delete this one too. Bye. Alright, back to this. He's still cute even though he's gotten huge. Yeah, I know. I don't think he's ever not gonna be cute. Greetings from Canada. Greetings from Canada too. Oh my gosh. Look at us being two Canadians in the same spot. Yo. Where's my music? What? What is this new YouTube feature? Don't you pause my music? Are you still watching? Pause. Get out of here. Leave YouTube. Hey Marcus, how are you doing? You can barely hear me? Guys, how's my volume? I don't want to put my volume up any louder, otherwise it's gonna start clipping. What date I got, Monty? You're taking of going back and watching that episode if you announced it in stream, that is. Yeah, I got whoa, let's see. Frig, I don't remember which stream it is. Yeah, I did announce it in stream, I just can't remember which one it was. I think it was in February, though. Thingiverse, I don't know what that is. Where are the... Wait, there are two Canadian... There's two Canadas. When two Canadians meet, who apologizes first? Ooh. That's like the Wild West. They're both reaching for their apologies, being like, who's gonna say it? Who can say sorry faster? Yeah, you got your pupper at the same time. I remember that too. Barely spoke this through. You should have hearing problem. Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah, hanging out in chat during the summit is always like, it's always fun. It's always a good time. Bleh. Yeah, Monty's actually doing pretty good right now. Earlier, he was pretty bad. And we're seeing a vet specialist about him soon sauce. Seeing what they think about things. They were like, oh, take lots of videos of his behavior. We just took a video of him literally like not like 15 minutes before I started streaming, like pacing and like crying. He was just pacing and crying, and I was like you went out, you had your dinner, like you don't need anything, you just pacing and crying. It's like, oh my god, you just cry then. Why you cry? There's no But he feels things that I don't know what they are, and we're gonna figure them out. Even if I give it a scorpion light stinger, you're not getting this. I'm not giving like these sculpts away at the end. Also, if you want a scorpion like stinger, let's show you. I've already done something like that on stream. Let's go look at, hold on. Let's see, where is it? Here's one of the earlier ones that I did. Boom. Scorpion light stinger. There you go. Episode 12. Have fun. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is like the only language I speak because I suck, so. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Hey, Dominic. Do I use a drawing tablet or a mouse? I use a Wacom Intuos Pro Medium. Voila. Make a next gen robot. No, I'm good. And I can't really even show you my work from next gen either. I'm not gonna speak French, no. I'm not, guys, chill. Chill. Oh my gosh, chill. Oh my god, has. Yeah, just look at the screen. That's so I have like the chat of everybody on the screen right now. If you're curious as to who I'm even talking to. Like YouTube and Facebook are in the chat there. Hey Joy, how are you doing? I appreciate that you enjoy them so much. There we go. Pork! Hello, Spectre Dave. Ugh, my eyes. Okay, let's see. Pork. You were greeting the Koreans using Google Translate. That's amazing. Yeah, I can't, like, I wouldn't be fast enough to Google Translate and go. A haptic device? Nope. Can't say I have. What the hell? Oh yeah, no, ZBrush is hands down the best sculpting tool. Man, okay, on that note though, like as I'm saying, like ZBrush is the best sculpting tool, like during the summit they do these Twitter giveaway things where they ask a question and then you have to answer with like the hashtag on Twitter, and so you tweet out like what your answer is. But because you have to do it so fast, a lot of the time, like, you don't put down, like, the question or anything like that, so it just looks like you being, like, this huge ZBrush, like, fan, nerd, crazy person. Like, if you go onto my Twitter and scroll down a bit, I'm just, like, screaming about how ZBrush is the best thing ever, which I do agree. ZBrush is, like, a really amazing program, and I'm really happy to be using it. It's streaming on this channel, but oh my gosh, that during the summit, I just sound like the biggest dweeb ever on Twitter. She's like, oh my god, ZBrush! Yeah. So that's some good stuff. References? Oh no, I'm not referencing anything for this stuff. This is all just for funsie. Like it's you know, if you're doing like a real project, I would say obviously use your references, and if you're doing like, you know, studies, then use your real, you know, use references and stuff like that. But if you're just kind of like, you just want to sketch, then you just sketch. And that's what I'm doing on this channel right now. Like during my segments, I just sketch, I just have fun, I just chill, I just lay back and just try and do something relaxing for the 4 hours that I'm live, something that I won't hate myself over. Hey Addie, how are you doing? Digital sculpture, you've noticed that you feel more comfortable working with symmetry turned off. Is this normal, or should should you be the one to do it? So yeah, I mean, if you're sculpting with symmetry off, usually it's better to do that kind of thing later on just to save yourself time. unless, like, again, you're just sculpting just for funsies and you don't mean to have, like, a production model, but, like, sculpting with symmetry on will ensure that your proportions all over the model is, like, accurate, and also on top of that, if you're sculpting with symmetry on, it's gonna save you time, because you're not gonna have to do the same thing, like, 2 or 3 or whatever, however many, like, you know, if you have, like, 8 legs, then you don't have to sculpt 8 legs individually, right? Like, that's the idea. But, yeah, if you're sculpting with symmetry off, then that's not a bad thing, as long as, you know, it's for fun, or if you're doing it later on your model, like, you know, to make an asymmetrical face, or what have you. His cute little borks. They're cute right now, but a lot of the time, like, so when I'm streaming, it's usually not that bad, but when he actually has, like, anxiety fits, like, you guys don't have, you probably won't hear it on stream, but when he has, like, anxiety fits, like, especially if he's, like, meeting somebody, or if somebody comes into the house, or, like, outside, and I'm talking about my dog right now, but outside, like, if somebody approaches him or whatever, it's, like, these, like, really loud, ear-piercing, like, chain barks, like, it's almost like a howl, and his hair stands up, and there was one time he, like, pooped all over me. He got so scared. Like, it's like bad. It's bad some days. Yeah, the freak out whine. Yeah. He does that as well. No. You do need to always reference. It doesn't matter how good you are. You always need to reference if you're doing something serious. Pretty sure it's the people in the live audience is winning those, right? Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, man. Like, tweeting as you're in, because you can do that. Like, when you're at the summit, you could, like, tweet while you're in the live audience. Oh my gosh. I won something last year, not this year. Last year I won.
I want to unplug my mic. Okay.
Last year I won, as Louis would say, a Nendoroid. Is that how he used to say it? Like, during the summit or whatever, he was, like, saying, like, Nendoroid or something like that. Yeah, this is what I won last year, so I can't assume that I would win again. But I try. Hey Martin, how are you? It's really easy to post a Twitter sitting in the audience, and brutal. Oh well, whatever. You're in the shower now. What's my Twitch? Oh, thank you, Mord. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you want any of my information on Twitch, so yeah, like, Mord just, like, posted everything in the chat on Twitch. I will copy and paste it for other people though on. Oh, I don't think I can I? Can I? What's going on? Hey. Oh, I can't. Why? What's going on? Here, I'll copy it. And I'll put it into Facebook for anybody who wants that. There you go. Thank you, Mord, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I look at a lot of, like, real life stuff. Pictures of, like, real animals, macros, like, really anything. I look at, like, so many different types of artists too. Like, I don't have just, like, one favorite artist. Like, I'm constantly looking at other people's art. So when somebody asks me, like, what's my inspiration, I just, like, there's so many things that I can't really. The best thing that I can say is, like, real life. You know, my creatures and stuff don't look like real life at all. But, you know. If you want some of the artists that I look at a lot, then you can go onto my ArtStation, and on my ArtStation in the following tab, like, that's all the people that I follow on ArtStation. I follow, like, over 1,000 people, so you know. Martin, you know, I can see your Discord message. I can see that. I can see that in general, okay? You're tired. I'm not tired. No, I'm actually tired. That's why I look tired. I'm actually tired. Two people sculpt on Twitch at the same time, going back and forth. Oh, well, I mean, you can always just mute me. I'm fine. Hey, Hollow, how are you? Nindoroid. Is that how you was saying it during the summit? Nindoroid? Nindoroid? That was pretty funny. Oh, hey Brian, how are you? Nice to see you live. Alright, let's use some ZSpheres. Why not? Why not? Because we kind of understand what we're doing with this. Let's do some ZSphere action, since I like never really do that on stream anymore. Also, I do sometimes use the ZBrush floor, but more times than not, I like to just like drag out a rectangle like this and make it my floor, just so I can see, and I toggle it on and off, just so I can see where, you know, the legs need to go, like the feet placement. Hi Joanne, how are you? Alright, so once you have one of these, then you go down into Adaptive Skin. And I'm going to turn the Dynamesh resolution off because I don't want it to be Dynamesh. I'm just going to throw the density down and then boom, that's what it's going to look like. Make Adaptive Skin and hide that one and append the Adaptive Skin. Boom, there we go. Alright. Mirror and, oop, mirror and weld. And there she is. Fortnite stuff? Well, I mean, yeah, it's still free stuff though, so it's not really something to feel bad about. Ryan Kingsling? Yeah, he's good. Turn up my volume. Guys, is my volume bad? Because I feel like everybody else is fine with my volume. You guys let me know if my volume's fine, because I feel like it's been fine up until this point. Hi! I am Garbage Juice Girl. How you doing, B-Man? Thanks, Maximus. What am I making? I have no idea. We never really know. We never know. Hey, Zomax, how are you? Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. You can't hear Anna's Twitch channel? No sound there? You can hear my... Wait, what? Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, so you guys are fine with the volume. I don't know, I also watch my VOD... Like, if I go and look at, like, a VOD, like, I haven't touched my volume for the past, like, 30 streams. And when I watch, like, the VOD, like, it's totally fine, so I don't know, man. Are you sure that your PC doesn't have a problem, like, you know, with sound? Like, maybe you have your browser, your internet browser, like, turned down or something in your control panel, your sound panel. My god. Oh my god. Oh my god. See, the thing is, like, no, if I turn this up, I'm gonna start clipping. Like, my voice will start clipping. I don't want my volume in the red zone of... I just don't. And in terms of my desktop audio, like, that's turned down a fair bit, just because we don't want to, you know, deafen people. But I actually have my, like, I mix my audio so that it sounds decent. Like, it's not like a straight out of the box, like, I don't really care. Yeah, like, I haven't had a problem up until this, like, most people seem to be fine with it, so I don't really know how to help you. No, I'm using an Audio-Technica. Audio-Technica, what's the number again? AT2020, but it's not a, it's not the USB one. I need a better audio system? Bro. Bro. Okay, whatever. You don't know, what this began, you don't hurt. Oh. Hey, well, welcome, Rockets! Nice to see you. Jesus, yeah, like, as if I'm gonna spend a few $1,000s just so that you don't have to turn your volume up. Oh my god, please. Okay. I'm gonna keep sculpting now, if you guys don't mind. Alright, into Dynamesh we go. Alright, and so this floor that I put there, it doesn't always need to be on. It's just sort of like I have it there just so I can see where to put the feet. The feetsies. Hi Charles, how are you? Hey Bigo! Hey Damien! Oh boy. What am I working on? Yeah, so on these streams, like, I don't really know exactly what it is that I never know in terms of, like, concept-wise what it is that I'm doing. It's just sort of like a whatever sort of a thing. We start from a sphere and we just kind of, like, go from there, and whatever it turns into, and right now we're just kind of, like, sculpting some leggies for this guy. And he's gonna be whatever he's gonna be, or whatever. Just a lot of whatevers. it's just for fun. It's sort of concepts from chaos, as one of my friends says. Put feet and hands on him. Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Donna? Donna's very good at sculpting, yes she is. Milk gets spoiled? Oh, okay. Wait, milk is getting spilled? Alright, we'll see you, AK. Have a great rest of the evening. Practically speaking, yeah, but we're not really like practical here. Again, it's one of those things like when you're sketching. So here, let me give you like context for what this sort of thing is. In general, it's the same as if you were to open up your sketchbook or just have a piece of paper in front of you, right? And then you don't really know what to draw, so you just start drawing something, and then it turns into something as you go. It's kind of the same thing as that. So when you start drawing and you're just doing it and you're just sketching things, you don't necessarily always have to be thinking about function right off the bat. It's more about what looks good, right? And once you get something that looks good, then afterwards, if you like the design of it, you could go in and refine it so that it is functional. And that way you get something that looks good and is functional, not something that is bogging you down with just functionality. Because if you're trying to design and you're constantly thinking like, oh my god, how is this gonna work? How's this gonna work? How's this gonna work? It can distract you from the overall design of something. So when you're sketching, and I'm trying to be as like straightforward as I possibly can and like obvious about this, is just when you're sketching, not when you're doing an actual like final piece, but when you're sketching rough, not complete, not final, just sketches, then it's great to do design work on it first, not think about so much of the functionality that goes into it, because then you can be more free with the design and you don't have to be bogging yourself down with all of these questions as you're going. You can take a step back from your sketch after it's done being sketched in the rough stage, and then you can add in the next level of thought, I guess you can say. So when we're thinking about sketches and final models and things like that, what's like, it's a great way to think about a layering process in not just like, you know, primary forms, secondary forms, and tertiary forms, and whatever else forms you want to talk about, but also a layering process in terms of how you think, because the key is simplicity. And if you can simplify your process and break it down into steps, you're gonna have a lot easier time like going through everything and not being stressed out about it, and not like getting yourself into an art block and thinking that everything that you do is crap. Because again, if you're thinking about too many things at once, it becomes difficult to just let your brain go and just like let the creativity go, in a sense, right? And so if you can just cut those processes up, then you're gonna have a much better time, right? So when you start like throwing all your shapes together and you're like, oh, these shapes look great, but then you think about, oh, well, these legs are actually too skinny to hold this guy up. Then you think, okay, well, that's a functionality thing, and you start to change that later on. But once you have your sketch down, that's your sketch, your roughness. Rough, block out, sketch, not final, sketch. That's what I'm doing here. Sorry, I had to keep saying it because people keep coming at me being like, so I have to, guys, this is sketch. So that's sort of the process here, is just being free and, you know, just getting a design out. And then if I like said design, if I think that design is something I want to finalize, then I go in and I make it functional. You know what? I can show you an example of this as well. I will show you an example of this because, I have been getting messages, and it is time to stop. Okay, let's see. Where can I find it? I have to find it's so I'm not gonna load the tool. I'll just find it on my profile. How's this? Oh boy. Where's it go? And so again, not everybody works the same way as me, which is totally fine. And I understand if my process does not work for you. Oh my god, I keep clicking off the window. What is wrong with me? Stop it. Okay. I understand if my process does not work for everyone, but this is how I think, this is how I work, and it works for me. Okay. All right, so we're gonna open up, like, this is a previous stream, basically. So this is a previous stream right here. And this is where I started sketching and sculpting, like, this thing that, you know, I didn't even know what it was gonna be. And as I went through it, you know, maybe the functionality wasn't exactly there with all of these things. Like, how would it have been able to bend all of this stuff, right? You know, these things are probably too thin. But again, like, this is a sketch, and it ended up being just a sketch. By the end of all of this, we just had this sort of, like, this thing, right? Like, this is what we ended up with at the end of that stream. However, I liked where it was going. And because I liked how the design was and the flow of the design, and not necessarily, like, you know, knowing that it would be, like, functional or anything, I decided to continue sculpting on it, and the result ended up being this. And so I ended up putting in more thought into the joint system, into the back system, thinking about how it would actually be able to bend and move and things like that, and, you know, chunking out the arms and things like that, so it wasn't just like flimsy, right? And so that's sort of the idea, and how I like to approach things is functionality second. Of course, there is a certain level of functionality that I keep in mind as I'm doing things anyways, but I don't stress over making something 100% functional. I stress over making the design solid first, because first and foremost, what you're going to be looking at as an audience is, what does it look like? You're not thinking, like, as soon as you see something on the screen, how does that work? No. The first thing that you do, the first thing that you even, like, anything that enters your brain is just like, what's it look like? How does the silhouette read? And so that should be your priority. And then after that, you start chunking away and making it work, basically, making it be able to move and thinking of it that way. So that's how I usually go about things, because then I don't stress out. Starship Troopers. Handsome spider boy. So much handsome. It's alright. It's not like the best design, but we're working on it. Make it levitate with no legs. Give it a stinger. Give it wings. Make it this. Make it that. Make it all the things. Streamer, do this. Streamer, why you do that? Hey, streamer, why don't you do what I say? Streamer, why you don't listen? Streamer, please. Oh my god, she's so rude. Oh my god, streamer is so rude. She's not doing what I say. Whatevs, I'm good. We're good. I just wanted to explain, like, what the thought process is here, and if you can't, like, relate to that, that's fine. That's totally cool, but I'm just saying it might help some people to think that way when they're sculpting or even drawing or anything, because it will take the pressure off and it'll allow you to evolve a concept in a very organic way. Have a question for me. How much charge for sculpting? How much per hour? I usually don't do hourly rates, actually, because I don't take, like, it really depends on The client, I don't usually take on individual sculpture projects. A lot of the time, it's like concept work for like studios, like small studios, big, like whatever, or modeling work for like an overall like thing. In terms of like hourly rate, like I don't really like I don't like to charge hourly rates, specifically because when you're a freelance artist and if you give somebody an hourly rate, micromanagement can come, like it kind of encourages micromanagement in a sense where if you're charging an hourly and you say, oh, I think, you know, a sculpt, like a rough sculpt will take me, you know, 20 hours to do like the sculpt of it, and then like again, like I'm just throwing out numbers right now, and then like I don't know, a couple of days, like, you know, each day is like 8 hours or whatever, and then you start calculating that stuff, then that, you know, clients might have a tendency to pick that apart and ask you what you were doing for how many hours each day, and like, you know, just to like write down exactly like how many hours you spent on each task. So in my opinion, it's a little bit safer for both parties and less stressful if you just charge a day rate or a week rate or a project rate. It really depends on what exactly it is that you're working on. So for me, I like to charge day rates because that doesn't, it encourages the client to give me as much information about the tasks that they have for me, like right off the bat, like straight up, because they're paying a day rate no matter how much work I do that day, right? So if they come back with revisions that are, you know, just minor things and they don't have an extra task for me, then, you know, like they're paying me a day rate. So it's better for them to like give me as much information and as much like things that they want me to do right off the bat, and then I can get more done within that time and it's worth their while, but it also protects me so that nobody is micromanaging, right? And so then that's where I feel like a day rate is it again, like it really depends on the project, right? But for me, that's where I my mind is. Gentle? Oh god. If that's how you describe it. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're having problems, Mad, like, try it out. You might really like it. Do I save all my live stream sculpts, or do you get rid of them after you stream? Oh, yeah, no, I save them all. Save them all. Yeah, the porpoise hunter. You remember that one. Make something. Fish, a bird, dog. Oh my goodness. You're sketching, you don't need to get stuck with the rules and thoughts about weight and functionality because these things kind of block your creativity. Exactly, Mustache, exactly. Yeah, no problem. No problem. This creature's some kind of egg sac on your chest. We'll see what happens, Cupcake. We'll see what happens. Like a creepy alien, the typical gray being, but much more fierce and ominous. Then get at it! Do it! Open ZBrush, let's go! Let's go, 8-bit! Let's go! What are you waiting for? Get at it! The versus from a very professional 3D artist who just push and pull on things until it works. The idea of just sketching in 3D without being so critical on yourself can be very liberating. Yeah, it is. It's like, honestly, like it is actually important though. Like I'm not sure if that comment was supposed to be sarcastic or not. Like I'm really bad at like understanding if sarcasm is a thing, but it is important to just, as an artist in general, not to be super critical on yourself. Otherwise, I find, you know, if you are super critical, like as you're working, it can stop you from finishing pieces. It can stop you from progressing. Like you might progress a lot because you hate what you're doing, and so you keep doing it, but in the long run, like it's kind of a toxic mentality and it's not going to help you go further. It'll actually like hold you back. So the best thing to do is just do a lot, you know, like just keep going and going and sketching and sketching and sketching and just try and be free about these kinds of things. Because like if you do have like a mind of like an artist, you need to be creating, otherwise you're gonna get freaking sad. And if you hate everything that you make, it's better to like tell yourself, I don't have any expectations of what I'm doing right now, and pump out a bunch of sketches and then look back on that and grow from that, than it is to get stuck on this one thing and just try and make like basically like polishing crap, right? Like it can start wearing down on you. But again, do your studies. You know, you're not supposed to always be doing like this liberating, like, you know, sketching thing where all you're doing is sketching and not doing studies. Like, you need to be doing your studies. You need to actually be using reference and things like that in order to improve. But what I'm saying is just, you also need a break from that. You can't just be doing that, otherwise you're gonna go mental. You're literally gonna go mental. If you're anything like me, anyways. The first for 4 hours. You ever see a man turn into a cat fight and his photo didn't get bugged for the rest of that game? Oh my god, has. Hey Sergio, how are you? Oh yeah, if you're an artist, you can definitely be upset with the things that you do. I am struggling there a lot. But I like to work this way because then I don't have an expectation a lot of the time. At least when I'm taking a break from all of the, you know, other stuff that I'm doing. When I'm doing these sketches, I like to just be free and do whatever. And if it turns out, it turns out. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not like anybody was waiting on anything. It's not like I came into this thinking it was going to be a masterpiece, you know? So that is, that's essentially how I think about this. How I go about it. If that works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I'm trying to get rid of a parallel right here. I'm gonna get rid of this parallel. See, it's like parallel. It's not a fan, not a fan, not a fan. I will look at chat in a minute. I'm just giving it a rest. I'm doing a little bit of what I'm actually here for. Sculpting. Curve off. All right. Do we save this? Okay. Let's see. What's going on? All right. Thanks, Sergio. I appreciate it. I mean, the chat can probably give you some comments about your latest work in progress, but I'm not going to be like reviewing anything during these streams, probably. Overworked a project and walked away from it? Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I still kind of get into those slumps as well. I would say, like, if you're doing anything, what the number one thing I can say, especially to like new sculptors, is 9 out of 10 of you, I can guarantee you you're doing this. Okay. Now, what do you think is wrong with this picture? What do you think is wrong with this? What I'm doing right here? I'll tell you. You're way too close. If you're close enough, like if your sculpt is like right up here, like you're not gonna see what it is that you're designing. If you have noticed, as I've been doing things, I've been like doing this, like outside, I've been spinning around like crazy. I've been like really far out, like maybe this close, but a lot of the time, like I'm doing my corrections where I can see like the entire model at a distance, right? And the reason for that is so that I can see the overall shape. I can see the overall design and form and how everything is looking in conjunction with itself. And I can get an, like, you know, a proper feeling to the whole thing, and the proportions are gonna be in check. And all of that is it's what you should be focusing on right off the bat. You shouldn't be like sculpting something and being like right in here, oh man, this armpit, it's so fun to sculpt, and wow, this armpit looks like, you know, maybe you're working on this armpit for like an hour and you're like, oh man, I sculpted that armpit muscle like so good, and then you zoom out and suddenly you're like, it's not even in the right place, or you know, something like that. Like that's why you don't zoom in like that, especially when you're doing blockouts and things of that nature. I mean, if you're starting to do like HD geometry, for example, during the summit, you know, there was a lot of VFX studios that were talking about how they did HD geometry. Don't take something like this and get into HD geometry and, like, you know, start getting up there and being like, okay, it's time to detail, because it's not time to detail. It's not. No. Zoom out, get zoomed out, get all the way out here, okay? And make sure your shapes are good. Make sure your proportions are good. Make sure it's solid. The foundations are solid, and then you can detail. But I'm telling you right now, you're gonna want to step away from your model before the detail process. You're gonna want to get up, go to another room, do something else, go for a walk, come back, look at your model again. Look at it again, and look at the proportions and be like, is this okay? Is this ready for the detail stage? Because so many models I see, it's just like everybody's like in a rush. They're just in a rush to get to the detail stage. And the thing is, a good sculpture is not about... I think I'm repeating something that somebody said during the summit as well, because it's so true, and I've said it before as well, but a good sculpture is not about the detail that you put in. A good drawing is not about the detail that you put in. It's about the foundation. You know, if you have a solid foundation and you got your shapes looking good, your forms looking good, your composition, remember how I was talking about character composition, if all of that is working, and then you put details onto that, that's like icing on the cake. That makes it just so much better to look at. It keeps your eyes on it. But in order to have your eyes on it and feeling good about it in the first place, it has to have that foundation. So don't do this. Stop it. Get zoom out. Okay. Rant over. Done. Stop pausing my music, YouTube. Jesus. Kinds of... Yeah, exactly, has. Exactly. Thanks, 8-Bit. Tell Widowback. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thanks, Martin. Appreciate it. I mean, this might not even turn out to be much more than just a sketch during the stream because I've been ranting so much, but it's just like, I don't know, I'm in a mood today, man. I'm in a mood, and you guys are saying all the right things to trigger me, so congratulations on that. Oh man, I don't even think, like, it just... There's never done, like, you know what the saying is, there's never done, there's only, you know, published, right? Just get it out there, get it done. That's what done is. You work on something forever. Yep, that's what well, see, that's the thing, like, mustache, you get kind of like, it becomes second nature to start, you know, in a sense, like, making a flow of some kind to your models and your sculpts, once you start practicing it enough, right? And that's what I mean by, this sort of thing isn't just learned. Like, I can tell you the theory of it, but it'll never really sink in unless, like, you're doing it. You've got hands-on and you've been doing it over and over and over again. And then it will become second nature. And it's one of those things that can be difficult to explain how it works and to step back and tell somebody about something, like thinking about an overall shape, when it isn't something that is inherently second nature to most people. I mean, there are savants out there, but most people, it is like, it's a practice thing. You just have to keep doing it and reminding yourself. So, hi Alberto, how are you doing? Do I 3D print my creations? No, I have not yet. Thanks Cupcake. What brush do I use to move? Snake hook! No, it's not. I use the snake hook tool. Alright, see ya, Kunal. Graduating from concept art school, I wanted to know if the roles of a concept artist and 3D modeler have merged working in-house, or does that differ in each studio? It will always differ in each studio. I don't think that a 2D concept artist will ever be a dead job, and I don't think that a 3D artist can't be a concept artist either. I think that As time progresses, though, there will be more concept artists that are using things like ZBrush to hash out a lot of their paintings. You don't have to know 3D to be a concept artist, but if you want to have a wider range of jobs available to you and you want to have, I guess, a faster way of doing what you're already doing, and like you don't have to worry about lighting if that's the case, you don't have to worry about you know, proper perspective or anything, so that's two things you bypass, which can be a pain to get right a lot of the time, especially if you're doing like cityscapes or whatever. So if you do like a 3D base, quick lighting, boom, done. Wow, okay, and now you just have to do paint over and throw on some textures and stuff like that, and there's your concept, right? So it's a lot faster in some situations, depending on what you have to do. So I would say that increasing your tools arsenal is not a bad thing, but again, it's not necessary. Hey, High Horse Games. Oh, it's Timothy Rapp. How are you doing, guys? Timothy Rapp is another streamer on the Pixelogic channel. I know I am way behind in chat right now. I'm trying to catch up because I wasn't talking for a while, and you guys like to talk on this stream. Boy, oh boy. But yeah, if you don't know Timothy Rapp, he streams on Thursdays after I do. So tomorrow. Are you not? You're not on the schedule tomorrow. Okay, normally he is, but tomorrow he's not. Tomorrow he's not. Unless the schedule got messed up. I don't know. But yeah, just check out Timothy Rapp. He's awesome. He's a cool dude. Alright, see you, Sergio. Okay, I'm trying to catch up. You sculpt each pore individually. Okay, alright. Dope. Sick. In pitch black? I don't think I've watched that, but cool. Detail in parts and then assemble them. Yeah, sounds like a great time. Oh my god. Okay, alright. Y'all zoom in as much as you want, but I'm telling you, you want to go far, zoom the heck out. Get out there. Zoom out. Stop it. Yeah, just have fun with it, man. Like, if you're sketching, just have fun with the shapes, have fun with the design. Don't bog yourself down so much. And then after you're like, you know, I like where this is going, then you can start adding on. Remember, layers. Thought process can be layers just as, like, you know, your actual art can be done in layers, right? Like, if you think about layers, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. A great teacher? I mean, I feel like I'm more of, like, just pissy. I'm just in a mood tonight. Oh, thank you, Victor. You look tired too. Hi, Jackal. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm not talking about just sculpture. I'm talking about art theory, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, I could talk about this in a sculpture sense. Like, sure, but what I'm saying is a foundation of, like, basically anything that you do to create whatever you want in art. Like, it's just apply it everywhere. Exactly, Timothy, exactly. It is undying. You could have something functional and just, and another thing that I want to say too is, oh my gosh, with functionality. So I have another rant for you guys if you're interested in just terms of functionality. If you look at, like, animated films, for example, you know how, like, just working in animated films, I can tell you right now that the amount of cheating that happens in order to make something functional because the design is good, it's insane. It's actually insane. Like, so many things are cheated. Even if, like, in animation in general, like, to get movements the way that they are. There's like a whole book of cheats that you can use, from like smears to skipped frames to like taking parts of the rig, moving it off of the character and moving it behind them, or like completely stretching the character in one viewport, like angle of the view, so that in the one view that the camera is, it'll look a certain way, you know, like things are always pushed around and things. And when it comes to like mechanical things, like, you know, robots or whatever, a lot of the time, like same kind of thing happens, is, you know, they would break the robot on parts that you can't see in order for it to work in certain shots, because the design is cool and it works and it's memorable and you won't forget it as time goes on, you know? So it's all of this kind of stuff. It's just, functionality is important, but when we're talking about films and like animation and things like that, it's not like 100%. You don't have to be so anal about it, is what I'm trying to say. Of course it's important. You need to understand your anatomy. You need to understand that, you know, intersecting in like major areas and stuff isn't okay and whatever. But, you know, if you have like a really cool robot design, for example, and it can't like easily do this, like without like breaking the rig or whatever, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because you can work around that if the design really does look cool in that angle and stuff like that. So it depends on the project that you're working on. And okay, anyways, I'm done ranting, but like I'm in a mood. You're off tomorrow. Yeah, darn. Okay, well, usually Timothy Rapp streams on Thursdays. Keep that in mind. Your zoom out. Cheers. All right, see you, Quad. What the heck is this chat today? I don't... No, I'm not getting into that. Jeez. Oh my god, stop. Okay, wow. You know what? You know what I think it is? I think it's break time. What do you guys think? You think it's break time? I think it's break time. I think it's time to get up and stretch your legs and do a little walk around, get some fresh air, breathe some fresh air, stop breathing in your own farts, you know, that sort of a thing. And I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Break time, guys, break time, because we're like halfway through the stream. Hopefully I'll come back and I'm less tilted. Okay, all right. Oh boy, what a fun stream tonight, huh? All right, here we go. There we go. I'll be back and I'll answer everything else that I have not. I'll just keep the chat where it is. I'll come back and answer everything after I get more water and stuff. Alright. Alright, am back. Am back. Alright. Let's read the comments. What's going on? Oh my god. Yeah, I try not to miss questions. Some questions like I have to skim over though because it's like repeated like so many times. I kind of wish that we had a little bit like of a fact thing, like exclamation mark fact, and then the bot would just like throw a fact sheet at you. But I don't know. Maybe I should ask Kyle for something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Well, especially like specifically for the streams that I do, I feel like I answer like the same questions, like a handful of the same questions like over and over again. I mean, like that's not your guys' fault. It's just like I wish that I had like something so that people didn't have to keep hearing it. Send me a beer. Yeah, I read a lot of things in cartoon is cheated like hell, man. But it looks cool, yeah. Still going through, still going through. Hi Black Hippie, how are you? Or BLVK Hippie. I keep reading that as Black. I don't know why. Is your name is it supposed to be Black or is it BLVK? Wolfg. I mean, I did just have chocolate, so some wafers. Exactly, Cupcake. Yes, I agree. This is not rigid adherence to functionality at all. Frankness, new around here to know who I was before today, but I love in this stream following. Looking forward to more rants. Also, the chat is very helpful and chill. Gotta go through. So yeah, no worries, Kart. Have a great evening or morning, whatever it is for you. Welcome to the stream. I think everybody likes their own brand. So brutal. No. Oh no, I'm fine, dude. I'm fine. It was just like I was getting on a rant train and I had to chill. Painting pixel by pixel? I mean, I'm not the girl to ask for that. Oh. Hello, Aubrey girl. How are you? Looking a little weird tonight. Oh, thank you very much. More chocolate. More. I'm actually, like, to be honest with you, like, I'm not, like, a huge chocolate person. I think, like, out of everything, like, chocolate is something, like, I enjoy it, but I can only have, like, a little bit at a time. Otherwise, I get sick of it very easily. Same with candies, actually. I'm more of, like, a trail mix kind of a person. So Now we can start probably breaking this stuff up. Ooh, that sounds tasty. That sounds tasty. Oh my god. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm allergic to all this BS in chat right now. Stayed for the ranting. It's probably not a good thing that I do that. I don't know. So who here is involving themselves in that Inktober thing? Anybody here into that? I need to still do day 2 and 3. I'm behind already. It sucks. Thank you for blessing me. I am allowing the demons to escape. A girlfriend to rant at you? I mean, it gets old pretty fast. You could ask my boyfriend. Did I watch the ZBrush Summit? What did I like more? I really liked the dev part of it, and I liked certain aspects of a few of the VFX. I liked when Magdalena was talking about the kaijus. That was pretty freaking sick. That was really sick. And of course, I always really like watching the sculpt off as well, like seeing what people are doing, and the chat is always like a lot of fun during the sculpt off as well. Jeez. That's true. If I did get it out, then I'd just be like sitting here like itching. Well, I'm already itching my nose like crazy. You don't draw, so it sucks bad. No, but I mean, like, the thing is, if you do something every single day and then you look back on it at the end, you're gonna be like, oh, whoa, like, I got better, which is pretty cool. Inktoberfest 2D. I mean, yeah, like, you can do something in 3D every single day anyways, there's nothing stopping you. Hands don't work well with 2D. But yeah, it's sort of like one of those things where it's practice makes perfect, though. You know, like, if you just get into it, you get into it. Here, I'll show you guys what I did for day 1. My day 1. I only have one drawing of it so far. Yeah! Yeesh. We got day 1 done. Now I need day 2 and 3, and then now 4. I'm behind. Gotta catch up. Gotta do catch up. Oh, thank you. Glad you like the sculpt. Itai. Am I saying your name right? Itai? We the people that eats chocolate are happy. Happiness is food. Let me just eat my emotions. No, Vega, that's actually incorrect. You can think you suck. Okay, so I want to actually show another thing before okay, after this last thing, I promise I'm just gonna go on like a sculpting spree and I'm just gonna like hash out a whole bunch of other things. I want to, let me Google it first and see if I can find it. This is another thing that I want to talk about really quickly. Because this sort of a thing really bothers me when people say, oh yeah, I think I suck, so I suck, or, you know, like, I'm not gonna improve, or, you know, like, even just that comment, like, if you think you're good, you're probably good, like, that is so far from the truth, and I think you're probably the kind of person that's saying this stuff just to trigger chat, because you probably can't be, like, you can't be that silly. Like, I mean, you just can't be that silly, right? Like, you can't honestly believe that, right? So I'm gonna put this up on the screen anyways, because it's a good thing. This applies to anything that you're doing, okay? So this is basically a chart of how, like, you go up and down through your perception versus your actual skill level. And this is something that I like to remind everybody when they're going through their art lows or even their art highs, as this says, right? So basically what this is illustrating is the blue one right here is your skill. This is, the pink one is your skill at evaluating your art, or your perception of your art, basically. So when you're looking at it, what do you feel, right? And this is your actual skill, that is, like, you know, your true skill. So when you start, it's a pretty, like, fast, like, increase, right? And anytime that you learn something new, your perception, it basically, like, it goes up and down, right? So when you're learning new things about art, your skill needs to catch up to where your brain is, basically. So your practice needs to follow your knowledge, in a sense. So anytime that your actual skill reaches a plateau and then you learn, right? You're learning something new. Like, oh, I learned this thing about anatomy. This is where you are. But your skill, like, you haven't practiced that anatomy. So that's where your skill is. So then now you're seeing that anatomy thing in all of what you're doing. And so you start practicing that anatomy thing and you get really good at that anatomy thing. And then you think you're really, really good, but your knowledge isn't increasing. And then all of a sudden you learn a new anatomy thing, right? And you see that, how that goes up and down. And so that is how you know that you're improving, is when your skill, like your perception of what you're doing, you're seeing things in your art where you're like, oh shoot, like maybe I'm not as good as I thought. That just means that your perception is higher than your skill level right now and you just need to practice more. But if you're thinking to yourself, you know, I'm pretty freaking great, I think I'm at the top, that no, you need to start learning more things, right? So that's, in a sense, what it is. And I just want to keep reminding everybody of this, especially when they're in their lows. Don't give up, just keep practicing, because you're going to just get up there. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Where can you get a copy of that? You can just Google, if you, here, I'll like type in what you can Google. If you Google that, it's under broadcaster on the screen. Perception versus skill, and then you'll be able to see that chart. But basically that's essentially what it is, and it's very important to always remind yourself. In fact, it's not a bad idea to print that chart off and just have it on your wall. So every single time that you feel like you're garbage, just look at that and be like, oh, this is why I feel like I'm garbage. It's because I'm surrounding myself with all these other artists that are so talented that I know, like, my knowledge of what good art is increased. It's higher than my skill level, and that's actually a good thing. That means that you are improving. As long as you keep working towards it, that means that you are improving. That feeling of inadequacy means you're improving. I know that's like, it's so backwards, but that is the life of an artist, okay? So you're never going to really escape that feeling of, I hate what I'm doing, like, it sucks, but it will, like, just know that you're gonna come in and out of it. And that's growing pains. Those are growing pains of being an artist in general. So just keep that in mind, and you know, try and have a healthy relationship with your brain when it comes to that sort of a thing, because if you don't, then it's easy to give up, and it's easy to just say, oh, I suck and I'll never be good because of that, right? And so many people do, but just know that they're growing pains. Okay, all right, so while you guys argue with each other in chat, because I'm not getting involved with that garbage, I'm gonna sculpt. Have fun! Yep. Johnny, more lamp. Yo, okay, actually though, moth memes are the best thing to have graced this society in a long time. I was hysterical over moth memes for a good time, a very long time, a very unhealthy amount of time. A sting on its butt? Probably. Oh, he's gonna have a stingy butt. By going to the summit, you were a little shy to talk to some people, but it's last the time. Oh, that's great! That's awesome to hear, Fixie. I'm glad that you enjoyed going to the summit and that it was like inspirational to you. I still have not gone. Hopefully next year I'm able to afford that. That would be really, really sick. And also, hopefully next year I can board my dog, because right now I can't, like, no one... Like, we can't board him anywhere. Like, we can't leave him with anyone because he's not okay with anybody other than us. So we're still training him to be like, hey, people aren't gonna kill you. It's fine. So when that happens, then I can leave him and I can go wherever I want. For a small amount of time anyways. somewhere. Only a 45-minute drive? Oh, that's awesome. It's cool. Oh my god, relax Benjamin, jeez. What in the world? Alright, Jackal, have a great rest of your night. Have fun with your rejob. Hey Hag, how are you doing? Hag up. How's it going? Alright, let's see. Let's dynamish this guy. And... Oh no, I don't have any references on the other monitor. It's sort of just a, it's just sketching, having fun. It's not like anything. Anyways, I've gone through this whole thing already. I don't want to like bore the other viewers with it, but essentially like these are just sketches. They're not full final things. Is it a real bug in my room? I hope not. I hope not. Alright, I'm gonna turn up the music a little bit. Well, for me anyways. And then I'll... Wait. And then I'll turn it down a little bit. No, it's fine. What Minecraft is this? This is Glauco Elongis. You don't have to be using what I'm using. It's just I'm so used to using Glaucos now, but a lot of the time I just switch to like, or not this, sorry, the basic material works perfectly fine for sculpting. Perfectly fine, perfectly good, perfectly great material for sculpting with is the basic material, but the Glauco Elongis is nice because it has that little bit of speck, so it's easier to see what things are, like where the peaks are on your 3D model. It's easier to process in your head what the forms are, essentially. Yeah, no, I look at a lot of stuff. One of the things that I like to tell people is build up a good visual library because it helps with your design sense, and it also helps your just general understanding of like how things work. If you're not, you know, one thing to practice is actually like learning how to observe and learn from observation as well. The more that you do that, the more you're going to have a better time remembering and recalling things visually. Hey gameplay, how are you? Vega, are you drunk? God damn. Do I ever get to the referencing stage in my streams? I mean, like, I think I've had a few where I bring up some references, yeah, and then I start, like, adjusting things according to, like, what I'm seeing and what I like in the references and stuff like that, but, for the most part, these are just sort of, like, you know, free thought, free form sketches that I'm just doing from the top of my head. Just because it's fun, it's relaxing, but obviously in this stream, there's a few people who keep coming in the chat and definitely making this a little bit of a rant type stream, so I apologize to all the people who have heard me say these things like 100,000 times over, but I guess I'm easily tilted. No, I'm not in the beta team. And even if I was, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Oh, thanks, Luke. Oh, my eyes. I got like this new lighting setup too, so I didn't like look orange the entire time. Not that that really matters, but it's like easier on my eyes too. So I've got like a light above, and you can see by how bright my hand is, there's like a light right here, and I'm still getting used to it. But my monitors are now like up on like, they're up on little ledges as well to help my posture, so I'm not doing this. I'm like, I have to look up. The ring ones? Yeah, it's a ring light. It's definitely like really useful for this streaming stuff. It was really cheap too. It's like only 20 bucks. My budget. Can I put Spanish subs? I'm not in control of the Pixologic channel. I'm just a volunteer here. I stream here once a week. I have no control over that kind of stuff. I also don't speak Spanish. Hey, Lamau. Oh god. Holy frig, you guys are so extra tonight. I don't even know what's gotten into y'all. What's in the water? You guys need to drink more water. It's all gonna be okay. Promise, you just gotta drink your waters. Drink your waters, friends. It's all gonna be gay. $17 brownie points to whoever knows what I'm referencing when I say it's all gonna be gay. 17 brownie points. And also, you're a freaking nerd if you know what I'm talking about. I don't speak Dutch either. I speak nothing but English because I suck. Me too, Missa. It's the alien mother Contra? Wow. now at least we know what it is. Alright, I only have an hour left, so I might get in here. I do speak Canadian. I speak a lot of Canadian, actually. Brush. It's so Liskar, I don't speak very well. Like my French is not like it's pretty bad like when I speak, but I can understand what people are saying when they speak to me. So in that case, it's like pretty good. But in terms of like conversations, like I can still go to stores and like, you know, do the basic, you know, basic stuff, but I can't like I'm like really bad at recalling what I need to say in conversations. Like I need to have like I need to be able to practice, but it's a little bit, it's just, I'm really bad at language in general, and I've always been, but I can understand what people are saying, so at least there's that. So it's not bad in that case, but I do get a lot of people who don't like that I can't have a conversation with them, I guess. That can be a little bit tricky, but and I understand why. I mean, like, it would be nice if I actually did know French, like I knew how to speak French a little bit better, but I'm in the process. I'm very slow at learning language. Yeah, Sadie, so that's the thing, like, you need to, I think the thing, because, like, I am, like, I can read French really well, I can, you know, understand what people are saying very well, but the problem is I can't, like, for whatever reason, I can't recall words. I even have trouble recalling words in English, and I've been speaking it all my life. So when it comes to, like, French, I just feel like if maybe I had more of, like, an immersive, like, I wasn't a hermit, first of all, and second of all, if, like, people around me only ever spoke French, then I would be forced to speak French all the time. But a lot of the time in Montreal, they switch to English if they can sense that your accent is like butthole. So because my accent is butthole, then they just switch to English and they're like, no, it's okay. And then they just like hurry along in English. So I don't really like, I don't get a chance to practice it either. So it's like, whatever. I'll get there one day. I'll get there. I'll be able to speak. I'll have a conversation in French. It'll be fine. If I had some inspiration for this character, just start with a sphere. Just start with sphere, as always, and on the stream. Do I know how to add another VDM brush to a current multi-alpha brush? So you're saying, like, just in terms of VDMs in general. Everything will be in your brush menu. So if you say in your brush menu, oh shoot, I don't think you can see that. Can you see the brush menu? Okay, let me see. Hold on. In your brush menu, shoot, I can't remember how to do it. Oh, it's been a minute since I made a VDM. Okay, so anything like that, you can go to the ZBrush documents and they'll have it in the ZBrush documents anyways. I'm sorry I can't, like, straight up help you. I suck. I'm sorry, Dan. Oh my god. Sure. Yeah, it's one of those. No, I don't speak Spanish. Oh man, that one time I went to Mexico too. Oh man, oh I was having a hard time. I was struggling. I had the translation app open the entire time, like the entire time I was in Mexico. It's just like, you're a student. You've learned a lot with my videos. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you have. That's awesome. All right, I gotta get back to sculpting and not talking about how much of a failure I am when it comes to language. Because I am. Like, it for sure frustrates me, and it's very, like, it actually is kind of embarrassing in some situations where everybody's, like, you know, talking in French, and I'm just sitting there like, guess I'll look at my phone. I can't really talk back. I can understand what they're saying, but I can't talk back because I'm very, like, yeah. Oh, man, I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh. Is it gonna sneeze? Nope, my nose is faking me out. What's my Twitch channel? It's at the bottom of the screen. Twitch.tv/a_cubed. Right here. You see where my cursor is? That's my Twitch channel. Dance it! Dance it, friends! Dance it! Whoa! Hey, Multimedia, thanks. Sometimes you're just left out of the combo. Yeah, it'd be hard. Like, it's really tricky. Like, props to the people who know, like, 3 languages, dude. Like, I don't know how you do it. I guess, like, and I kind of wish that when I was growing up, like, I was, like, forced into some kind of an immersion school, you know? Because, like, not knowing a second language, I feel like, makes learning any kind of a language difficult. Like, it's just, once you know one, though, I hear it gets easier because you can apply, you know, similar rules and things like that, but it's just, I feel like it would be good for, you know, your confidence levels, too, at least mine. I feel like I would feel, like, more confident because I'm like, oh, at least I can communicate in multiple ways. I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully one day I'll be able to speak it. I guess, like, the trick is, like, maybe I should just start talking to myself more. Like, when I do my lessons, like, if I'm doing lessons or something, then just kind of just start saying, like, sentences out loud or something. It's still yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever. It is what it is. It'll get better over time, I'm sure. At least I hope. Yeah, I was at ARC, and I was actually coming back from Montreal from a visit. I was going to, like, Osheaga on one of the weekends. It was like a long weekend. I was coming back, and in the car, my friend who I work with turns around and, like, says, read this, and she hands me her phone, and it's just an email saying, okay, everybody's laid off, don't come into work, don't get your stuff, don't do anything, and I'm like, what? So that was fun. And that was already like, we were already out of like 2 weeks of pay too. They were like, oh yeah, don't worry, it's just we're getting the books in order. Like, they didn't pay us for 1 week, and everybody started to go like, yo, what the heck, where's our money? And they were like, oh, sorry, like, we're getting the books in order, and it was just like a mistake, a clerical order or error, it'll get fixed, you're gonna get all your money. So nobody panicked. And then we didn't even get that pay, and then we didn't get severance, we didn't get our vacation, we didn't get anything. And we just got booted out of the studio, and that was freaking great. Freaking great. Couldn't even get my stuff for like over a month. My stuff was just in the building. Couldn't get any of it. I had like important files on my computer at work, and I couldn't get those either. And I was like, oh yeah, this is dope, this is sick. Some good stuff right here. And it was my first job. That was awesome. Getting to work and the doors were locked. Yeah, I know. It was like so dumb. Yeah, I'm like super surprised that, like, I mean, I know a lot of people know about what happened at ARC, but that was like 2 years ago that happened, about 2 or so years ago. And the film industry in general, like the VFX industry, was very supportive. Everybody, same with the cartoon industry, and like people were flying out to give everybody who was out of a job like interviews and things. Like the same sort of thing that you're seeing with Telltale now was like happening with ARC. But the thing is, like, ARC was on a scale of like over 500 people, and people were hired, like they were hired the day that the studio shut down. So these people had their visas, and they were over in this country, and the only way to keep said visas is if they had work. And so then they came from all the way over wherever to work, but then the first day they get there, it's like, don't come in to the studio because we're bankrupt now. Yeah. A lot of people were pretty screwed in that situation. It was not a good time for a lot of people. I was fortunate though. I was saving my money because I was in debt with student loans. My debt actually saved me in that situation because I was like saving my money to pay off my loans, so it ended up being a buffer and I didn't die on the streets of Toronto. But I also got a job like, well, not even a week after it closed with Tangent, so that was really cool. But there were a lot of people that were like not as fortunate as I was. Yeah, I know, they're very normal. It sucks that they're so normal. It shouldn't be that normal. finished up at DHX, so now you're like, what? Well, I mean, like, there's things like Guru, and, well, Toronto's kind of dry right now from what I know. I don't know a lot of things going on in Toronto, to be honest. Yeah, Montreal's got some stuff going on. It's more games, I think, though, than anything. Well, no, there's like VFX studios too, if you're into that. The Vancouver, same thing. I don't know. I don't know a lot of productions going on right now, personally. I'm sure there's stuff that's happening that people don't know of, but... Jam-Filled, yeah. Jam-Filled Entertainment, owned by Boat Rocker Media. That's who took over the solvency. Hey, Boiled, how are you doing? How you doing, Spud? I'm not dwelling in the dark. I was tempted to turn off the light today. I was tempted. Thinking of moving to Toronto, and now you're scared. It's really expensive. The people are more or less... I want to say mean, but like, I guess, I don't know. I find Montreal much nicer, personally, than Toronto. Toronto, maybe it's where I used to live. Like, I have stories. I have so many Toronto stories. You like my cardboard box? Oh, thanks. I still don't have a display case. I want to put a display case there eventually. Your brother works for Pixar? Pretty cool. That's great. Talent pool in Toronto is way deeper than the demand for work, so studios are being extra picky about who they hire. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge city. There's so many people. And the thing is, like, schools just keep pumping out. There's so many schools, and they keep pumping out artists. Like, they're just pumping them out like it's nothing. Like, these... Like, a lot of people who go to school, and they have, like, these, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna, like, name school names or anything like that, and I'm not gonna, like, purposely try to out anything, because this is a generalization, but from what I've seen, it's just, like, a lot of the portfolios, I wonder how these people graduated without the lack of fundamental knowledge, and I think that, like, a lot of schools that are like labeled as art schools now are just kind of like trying to pump out as many kids as possible. Like, they're literally just taking on these massive amounts of kids, like big classes that they, you know, that shouldn't be huge classes like that. But yeah, just okay. Let me get rid of this. I don't like this. Actually, let's just have some fun with the lazy mouse. Oh, too much. my nose is going stupid again. Why does this happen? Oh, that's pretty sick, Liskar. No, it's okay. It's okay, Vega. That's fine. I'm good. There's a lot of people trying to pump out massive amounts of kids. Okay, that's also true. That's also true. Oh, my goodness. Your dad owns Nintendo. What? Just an OVO thing. Ah! Friggin', why does... Okay, another thing. Why does everybody want to be Drake? I don't understand. Just Drake this, Drake that. Ugh. Freaking annoying. That's something that I found so obnoxious. Like, I like a few of Drake's songs, don't get me wrong. But, like, everyone and everything is just Drake. Like, all of the boys are trying to be Drake. I don't... Okay, not all, but, like... Studios of Marvel in post-production? What? What's going on? Did I go to school for art? I mean, like, yeah, I did. But... oh, I see what you're doing there. How the heck did you graduate? Yo, you don't know! You don't know! Oh my god, I can't. No. I have left the lobby. I have left. It is done. It has been done. Alright, I'm gonna... Wait, let's see. It says this. I'll just do like some of this. I don't feel like... Not even a C2, oh my god. Techno? Hi, Mr. Animation. Oh god, you know, that's, you know, it's freaking true, Eric. Like, I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate that so much, but once you live in Toronto, there's no going back. That's it. That's it. I don't know. I'm glad that I don't live there anymore. It just bothered me, and something about it, man. Like, I feel like just in general, it was just disingenuous. Like, I felt like the city itself, it felt fake. I don't know. Like, some of my best friends I made in Toronto, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know how to explain it to people who haven't, like, lived there. Some people absolutely love it too. It's just one of those things where, like, I don't think I'm a fan of the concrete jungle type thing, you know? I need to be near trees and things. Need to have access to that. All right. Move to South California. Why? Yeah, I know. I like to. It's one of those things where I think that the city itself is like great to visit as long as like you're cool with spending a bunch of money to do literally anything. Because it's like a, you know, it's one of those cities where you gotta be like well off in order to have a good time. I feel like it's not like necessarily true, but like there's a lot of dingy parts of Toronto. A lot of that. And I used to live in a really rundown area as well because that's all I could afford. That's it. Like I couldn't live in city center. Are you kidding me? You know, so it's like one of those type of things. What material do I use? I'm using the Glauco Longi material, so you can get it on his Gumroad. Ottawa is great for that. Ottawa. No, I live in Montreal mostly because my boyfriend moved here because he works at Behavior right now and he really enjoys his job, so I ended up going freelance and I'm pretty happy about being freelance. I like the freedom, hence the free and freelance. Can we step on it or does it step on us? I would assume it could probably step on you. I usually make pretty big scale things. Have I ever delved into the Eastern market, Square Enix, etc., or have you had to migrate for a job? Yeah, so okay, so in terms of like migrating for a job, like not for like a studio job. Like I said, like my boyfriend has worked, he moved to Vancouver first, worked on Gears of War in Vancouver, and I ended up like living there for like a month with him and then moving back to Toronto after that, and then he ended up coming back to Toronto and then he went to Montreal after that because he got hired at Behavior. And so then I left Toronto again after that and then went to Montreal. So it's sort of like one of those things where if you're gonna be in this industry and you're not freelance, then expect to do a lot of whoop, 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 unless you're comfortable and working like a job that maybe isn't your cup of tea. Because it's a nomadic kind of thing. All right, good night, Reaper. Business and finance city, not an artist friendly. Yeah, I can feel that. I definitely feel that. Especially like every day I was on the streetcar, like going down King Street, like passing all the giant TD buildings and the Scotiabank building and everything, and like those, they're just looming big black glass like windows, like so corporate and stuff, and you're just in the streetcar, like you're looking up at this stuff, and it's like soul sucking. I don't know. Like when you're visiting, it's like cool to see everything like that, but I'm not a fan of living in it. The job is at Quebec and chances of Montreal. What are you talking about, Damien? Good night, or night, new type. Hey Adventure, how are you doing? Yeah, his name's Eric. He's awesome. I like him. I like him. Am I doing the new ArtStation challenge? No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't have time. Ooh, no. Of course, new. Thought you were sleeping. My sculpt is not. No, my sculpt is like it's one of those things where it's like it's a sketch. It's just like I could just keep going on it because again, I'm doing all this at like pretty low res. It doesn't really have like we don't have any expectations for it. It doesn't need to really go anywhere. It just is what it is. So I usually go until it's 12 and then that's it, and then it goes into the dump. Never to be seen again. Let's see. Oh. Don't be mad? About what? How to improve the stroke in the configuration? What do you mean? Like if you have any like stroke things that you need to do, there's a menu like stroke, and then you can turn on lazy mouse if you need to have a lazy mouse function. Sorry, my nose is like I don't know why I get allergies when I stream. And then there's like modifiers as well, so you can like mess around with that, or you know, create a curve, whatever you want. It's all in your stroke menu. My nose. Okay. air filter for my room? Yeah, probably. It's weird though, like it only really like happens when I'm streaming. I don't know why. Sorry, sniffles. Dancing. Thanks, 8-Bit. Appreciate it. My room is closed. Yeah, no. Like, okay, well, you know, whatever. It's fine. You have all the answers for me, Vega. You have all the answers for me. Wait, what? This insect reminds you of your grandmother? What? What? How the... I don't... What the heck? Your poor grandmother. She doesn't deserve that. Carl. Is there a difference designing, working on characters for a movie versus game? They do have a lot of overlap. I would say, like, the big thing is games have a lot more restrictions than film does, unless you're, like, working on a game, like, cinematic, or if you're, you know, it really depends on what kind of a game you're working on and, like, what the budget of the film is. Like, it all comes down to budget. I'd say, yeah, for a game, like, it comes down to, like, you know, texture size and poly count can start meaning a lot. So if you have, like, a character that has, like, 1 billion arms and legs, then, you know, maybe you can't do that in every single game. So just in terms of that, there's a lot more of, like, a restriction-based thing going on. But otherwise, like, as technology advances, there's less and less of a difference. And there's more and more overlap. They're starting to become bridged. Especially with the new graphics card that just came out, where games can have real-time ray tracing. That's a big one. Of course, it's, like, way out of the price range of, like, your average Joe right now, but in the future, just, like, anything technology-based will be one of those things where it's pretty viable. I make this look easy? Well, I mean, if you do it as much as I do, then it becomes easier. I'm gonna add some, like, curved tubes. Why not? Let's get some stuff coming out. he's Hopper, leader of the Grasshoppers. Oh my god. Hey Anna, how are you doing? The pores! The pores! No, we're not doing pore work today, sorry. No pore work. Hey, Bazooka! Would look okay, you know, Eric. By the way, if you guys want to know who said boyfriend is, he's in chat right now as EZE_3D. That is said boyfriend, who works on cool things. I'm gonna sneeze! No, I'm not. It's a fake out. No, it's a sneeze. No, it's a fake out. It's a... nose! Welcome to Allergy Streams. How may I help you? Clarendon, sponsor me. God. No red wax. No. No. We don't do that shit in this house. That filth. Allergy Adams is your favorite pixel. Oh my god. Do not make that a thing. Goodness gracious. We've got 5 more minutes. Ah! Oh no, I'm definitely not doing anything to do with retopology on this character. This is strictly like just sketching. Literally just sketching. Nothing else. Just sketchy McGee over here. Ah! Sorry. Do I do a crochet? I study from a crochets. I don't do a crochet. Alright. You know, I think we're gonna save this right now while we ahead of things. And, we'll just make like a little... Wait. 3/4. Is that best? Is side best? Side view. Do a side. Oh god, I always suck at these. I always suck. I always suck at this. Do that, I suppose. And can do some tinies. Some little minis down here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Boys and girls. This is what we made today. Probably could have been more fleshed out than this, but we went on a rant for more than half of the stream, so yeah. On Faucet knows Eric. Oh my god, true. Yeah, Eric's got way worse allergies than me. I'm just allergic to the BS in chat. Hey Sparky, how are you doing? You came in just as I'm ready to leave. Just as I'm getting ready to leave. Just as it's ending. We've got 4 more minutes here, so I'm just gonna talk a little. Hey Lucky Seth, how are you doing? There's some Twitch rage in that piece. There's some anger in this one. There's some it's a very salty boy. He's a salty boy, you know. He's definitely a salty boy. Got a little bit tilted in chat today. Alright, let's see. Let me put up my infos. I have some infos for you guys. And you can do the follows or not, whatever you want. Whatever you'd like. Alright, let's... There we go. Oh. No. There we go. Ah. Yeah, that's right. It is in a text format. Bite me. There we go. Follow me on those things. There you go. Now you can upload this so you can download it. No, sorry. You can make your own though. There's a step-by-step process. It's like 4 hours long. Hey, Annabelle, what's good with you? What's good with you? I'm about to end the stream. You know, because my nose is going a little crazy, and I ranted most of this, and this is all we got done. And that's fine. It's fine. I just got freaking tilted today. It's cool. $75. Oh boy. Oh boy, my hourly rate, $4 an hour, or $5 for 4 hours. Oh boy. You're too kind to me. I know. High tech. So much Monsters was in here. Joe was in here a couple streams ago, like, giving me crap for this, and I'm just like, I don't have time to make it look pretty. I'm sorry. I'm a busy girl. I'm doing things. This is good enough. You know, if you want to follow me on stuff. You were seeing things or where I was sculpting a head earlier? Was I sculpting a head earlier in the stream? What do you mean? I mean, like, yeah, I sculpt lots of heads. You just sculpted an insect queen 2 days ago? Must be the October vibes. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Alright, at the beginning, yeah, I started doing some kind of like a head thing and then turned into this. Yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this stream, please give Pixelogic a follow, because there's other artists other than myself that stream here. The next streamer that will be live is Oscar tomorrow at 8 p.m. PST. Usually on Thursdays Timothy Rapp is live, but he's going to be taking tomorrow off. But definitely check in next week for Timothy as well. And give Pixelogic a follow so that you can see all the other streamers that stream here, and it isn't just me, because this isn't my channel, and if my rants, if my process, all of that kind of stuff is not your cup of tea, if you don't like seeing a weird girl look tired in the cam and sit here and just struggle with what she says for 4 hours, that's cool too. I don't blame you. You can go check out the other artists on this channel, which might be your cup of tea. And if they are, that's fantastic. They're doing their job. And if I am, by some chance, exactly what you're looking for, I also have my own Twitch channel, which I will be coming back to. I'm just doing my best to find a good date. And that's on the screen right now, as well as all my other socials. You can feel free to follow those as well. They're free of allergies. This is the only allergy stream that you can. Oh man. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will see you guys next week and online and all that fun stuff. So, good night. Take care. Have fun. Okay, awkward goodbye is awkward because I don't know where my OBS is. Okay, bye.